So in the past 3 episodes, I should mention that for whatever reason, this game tends to have an issue with shadow play and recording well in full screen and not borderless full screen. What ends up happening is the game gets really weird and dark, and I had to color correct and gamma adjust it in the past 3 episodes. I did do that. It should be better, and you probably, if I did it right, you wouldn't have noticed the difference. But the past 3 episodes did have a color difference. So over this, I'm now going to show you on the left-hand side was what it looked like on the menu without that correction, and on the right-hand side was what it normally looked like. There was a pretty significant difference, and then obviously I color corrected the one on the left to make it look normal. But it was very interesting. It was very odd, and it's just one of those things that it comes with id Tech 5. id Tech 5 is a gorgeous engine, as you can see, as we have seen, as we've seen with Doom. You know, Doom is a good example of id Tech 5 or 6, and it's the kind of the same idea. They took the id Tech engine and wanted to make their own thing. They call it the Void engine, so it's just a modified id Tech engine. So it's interesting, but yeah, it has its own anomalies. Also, by the way, the bone charms that I picked up, this book here, Goodbye to Karnaca, and the gold that I got from the door, all part of the Imperial Assassins DLC, which you get for if you pre-ordered. So there you go. Anyways, with that out of the way, let's go do things. Also, I did want to try this out. That is a way better effect than it was. Let's be honest. It's blocked, but there's stuff in there. I want that stuff. So how long does this last? Let's just keep it on and find out.
What would we have done in the old days? All sharp metal and shadows, we'd say.
Wow, yeah, it is a lot better that rather than the oh gosh, what did it say? I totally have forgotten. It was like dark eyes or something, but it would go like dark eyes every time you would use it. Trying to fix the secondary engine. What about the primary engine? Anton, your idea of improving the head gasket sealing with a guano coating. Ooh, it's the worst idea you ever had. I'll make you sleep in the engine room if you don't fix this mess by tomorrow. Megan, if all inventors were as delicate and short-tempered as you are, you and I would still be paddling around in the carved-out logs. Megan, I made some mulberry cake. It's my own recipe, improved by Tivian spices. I left it in the galley. Anton, where are you, old fool? I hope nobody hurt you. I'm finding okay. Interesting. We'll take it. I just want to look around before I go and talk to her, as I normally would do. Ooh, crossbow bolts. Ba-boo. The crossbow looks sick. All of her weapons look sick. I wonder if Corvo's look like his and hers just are different, because that would be a cool way of distinguishing, hey, you are playing a new character. This right here, this feels like a screenshot. It's awesome. The shading and everything. A reminder, I am using HBAO Plus, which is an NVIDIA tech, which makes shadows and stuff just look a lot better. So it's the way that it renders it, makes it look better. So if you're playing on console and it doesn't quite look like this, it's because HBAO Plus actually does make a significant difference.
When you're ready to talk, I'll tell you what I know.
Got a pipe? What do you got? Crown Killer strikes again. Okay, we read that one already. I'll start the briefing as soon as Jeez, God rays, damn. Okay. The gift, study of, okay. More lore. I will take that. Wait, what was that? Interesting. See, the cool thing about getting into new areas of the world is we're going to see new stuff. We probably shouldn't eat all the stuff in the Gallia.
We've been en route for 2 weeks. I hope Sokolov is all right.
Is that a bird?
Wherever he is.
Oh, it's a
Karnaca
statue.
looks pretty from a distance, but it's a city on the way down. And the blood flies are bad this year.
Blood of the Abel house. Okay. Man, I'll read those in my own time, but I feel like I need to keep things moving. That portrait is awesome. Dude.
Why is this here? It's Delilah. Anton started it just before he was taken. They've got history, but he wouldn't say more.
The art in this game is fantastic. Everything surrounding this game so far has been fantastic. And you know what? I'm gonna call it. So far, this game has been incredibly rad to the point where it is a massive improvement on the first game. The first game was great. First game was awesome. And to have an improvement, man, it's a tough act to follow, but they did it. At least that's what I feel like thus far. We'll see when we get further into the game. Things always change. But as of right now, status update, it's great. I would suggest it. What is this? What the heck are those?
Emily, or must I say, your Imperial Majesty. I have something that you and Corvo must hear at the first opportunity. It concerns the murders happening across the Empire, committed by this so-called Crown Killer. When I left Crystal years ago, I swore I'd never again take part in any further political matters. I've done my share of bad things, and some good, before and after the Rat Plague. But here in Karnaca, I've uncovered a terrible conspiracy against you. Here, at the bottom of the Empire, the cobblestones smell of death and corruption. I'm staying with an associate, Megan Foster, aboard her vessel, the Dreadful Whale. We'll leave for Dunwall in the morning, as soon as the tides are willing. I keep thinking of the way sweet Jessamine was stolen from you and your father, and I fear it might be your turn to face such turmoil. I know Corvo would protect you with his life, but please do not trust anyone.
There you are, old man. I was asked to pay you a visit.
Wait, what's wrong with you? Megan!
Off we go, Sokolov, to somewhere more private.
Voice actor sounds familiar. Anton Sokolov's investigation notes. Why can't an old man enjoy his last years in warmer climate with good wines and spicy foods without stumbling into another nest of aristocrat vipers eager to coil around the heart of this empire? Wow, that was beautifully written. And I've learned more each week for months now. I found my mind turning over the moments beneath the surface here in Karnaca. Duke Luca Abel, I don't know how to pronounce this stupid last name, is some inner circle that even seems to include Captain Mortimer Ramsey and Dunwall City Watch, a betrayal that boggles my mind. How many others are involved? They aim their venom at our dear Empress, young Emily. That much is certain. But will they strike? When will they strike, and how? Do I dare spend another month gathering stray bits of esoteric information, linking it together with what we already know? Can we even afford another week? Or should Megan and I set out for Crystal tonight, taking this leaky tub through the canal? Corvo will not hesitate. He will act as soon as I hand over what I know. And if I'm too hasty, it might be his undoing. Coming home to his native Serkanos without some critical piece of knowledge about this affair. And then there's the Crown Killer to worry about. If that fiend is part of Duke Abel's schemes, as I suspect, how long until the dreadful whale catches the Duke's eye? Amazing. What the heck are these things? I don't want to hit it. I don't want to break them out. That would be a bad idea. Sokolov's notes, blood flies. Okay. I wonder whether I have another book in me. The blood fly epidemic, coupled with basic information on life cycle and behavior, might make an excellent project for this old nature philosopher. Blood flies are exotic insects, unlike anything else found in Serkanos. I suspect they originated on the Pandician continent. In groups of 3 or fewer, they're harmless, kind of like rats. Individuals won't attack, leading me to speculate that each emits a scent that has a collective effect on a larger number of bloodflies. Bloodflies are attracted to rapid movement and sound. Their nests can be broken apart, scattering the swarm, and in particular, the nests are quite susceptible to fire. The insects require flesh corpses to lay their eggs, that's disgusting, which hatch in breathtaking fashion. After a very short time, more corpses in Circanan cities, say during a crisis or plague, mean more bloodflies. Interestingly, in the last part of the bloodfly's life cycle, they calm a great deal. Leaving the swarm, they molt, causing wings to drop off. Afterwards, each bloodfly lives a solitary existence. Very odd. Bloodflies are largely restricted to the south, preferring warmer climates like certain aging natural philosophers. Man, he was one day from retirement. I love it. All right. Spin.
I'll always miss my lessons with Anton Sokolov. He made so many clever devices during my mother's time.
Indeed. Indeed, he must have. All right, should we brief? I think we should brief. Let's give it one last look around before I go upstairs. Did everything in here. Yeah, let's brief.
All right. You've explained part of it. But what were you and Sokolov doing here?
The old man loved Karnaka, but he'd caught wind of a conspiracy tied to the Crown Killer. He wanted to warn Corvo.
There were reports about tensions rising, corruption, street violence. I didn't give it much mind. Usually the local authorities resolve that sort of thing.
The new Duke has let things slide. But Sokolov concluded he might be the head of the conspiracy. He came in looking shocked, and if you've heard his after-dinner stories, you know that's unusual. We were going to set out for Dunwall, but something happened.
The Crown Killer.
Yes, the hatch ripped open and Sokolov screamed. All I caught was a glimpse of someone carrying him across the deck. I followed as long as I could, toward Addermeyer Institute. It's run by the alchemist Hypatia. Maybe the Duke is using a patient of hers, the Crown Killer.
Addermeyer. All right. I'll get inside. The Crown Killer has to be eliminated, and if the alchemist will cooperate, maybe I can learn something about what happened to Sokolov. Wish me luck.
If you need my luck, Sokolov's as good as dead. When you get done at the Institute, disable the watchtower. Once it's down, I'll bring the boat around. We'll take the skiff to the shore when
Interesting.
you're ready.
So this is like my murder board. If you've ever watched Castle, great show. Highly suggest it.
Mortimer Ramsey. The Duke couldn't have pulled off the coup without someone inside the City Watch.
Man, the texture work on some of this stuff is incredible.
I don't know Duke Luca Abel, but Corvo served under Luca's father and said Theodanis was a good man. Delilah. My aunt, if that's really true. She has a twisted way of looking at the world. This Dr. Hypatia, she seems to represent the good that's possible within the Empire.
For the Empire?
It looks like the overland route to the Addermeyer Institute goes through the carriage station.
Interesting. So this is the map of Karnaka. Karnaka? I don't know. The Addermeyer solution. So something with blood flies?
Sokolov seems so much older now.
Why was Sokolov abducted and not killed?
So the Crown Killer was a tool of the Duke's coup. The murders had a calculated effect.
I am loving this story. This is awesome. It's so layered in really cool ways. Gosh, it's great. And the game is just gorgeous. I know I keep saying it, but seriously, just like look at this. Like, how can you not admire that?
Of the South. My father's birthplace.
It's seriously gorgeous. Holy cow. Man, I thought Doom looked good, right? I thought Doom looked good. I thought, you know, The Witcher looked good, but I mean, The Witcher compared to this, sure, they are completely different styles, right? One is much more realistic compared to this, which is much more painted. It's a painted look. That's the way to put it. Does this just go down into Sokolov's area? It does. Good to know. Yeah, this is just a gorgeous game. Holy cow. And I know that YouTube videos are a terrible way of conveying that, so you're just gonna have to trust me. Pick it up, put it all on ultra if you can. If you like, honestly, if you can. Play it. It's gorgeous. Gorgeous game. We're just gonna look around a bit. Also, I probably should be using my, what is that even called again? The Far Reach, and then that one is Dark Vision, just like the first one. So I could just like explore this fully. That's my boat to get down. Oh, she's just sitting there waiting for me. This is fascinating. I love just like exploring, looking around this dumb ship. It's great. It's really fun. Yeah, it's almost, actually, I would straight up say it's more fun than the Hound Pits exploration. Let's go look up here. The Hound Pits was cool, but at the same time, it was like a, you know, it didn't have this sight to see. You could see part of Dunwall, but Dunwall's, let's be honest, pretty ugly city. But I mean, in this engine, jeez. Like, look at that. The texture work is phenomenal.
Dunwall seems so far away. I'll come back soon, Father. I promise.
Who's that? It's got to be her father or something. Dreadful whale accounting. It's like a D&D game where it's like a GM will just like, or DM, whatever you want to call it, will just like put random bits of information that are completely irrelevant. Don't need to be there. It's like, I just found one of those. But it adds life to the world.
Ready for me to drop you at the docks?
Yes, Samuel, let's go.
Let's go see the streets where my father grew up.
Off we go then.
It won't do to be recognized.
Oh, kind of like putting on the mask, putting up her. I love that. I love her aesthetic. They did a really good job with making Emily just look awesome. I'm a very huge fan of strong female characters, and the past few years have been really good for them and right for them. Obviously, Emily being a good example of that. Find Addermire Station and take a carriage to Addermire Institute. It is the best lead you have for tracking down the Crown Killer. Also, that is definitely Jennifer Hale, right? Doing Emily. I'm gonna double check that. Open up IMDb real quick. Wow. Wow.
But security's too tight. The Grand Guard have a watchtower there. Go inland and use the carriage station. Before his death, the old Duke of Serkonos spent decades building up Karnaca. After Duke Luca Abel took over, he started draining the wealth.
It's just like some weird things going on in the background.
Orgies and week-long feasts.
Having more fun here than we were in Dunwall, it seems.
Watch yourself on the way to Addermire. The Duke's given the Grand Guard run of the city. Strangers get attacked on sight.
I'll keep my head down.
Need a hand there, Megan?
Reach Addermire, take out the Crown Killer, and find out where Sokolov was taken. The alchemist, Hypatia. She'll help if she can. Sokolov likes her.
I'll see you later at Addermire. Just wait to bring up the boat until after I've disabled the watchtower.
Okay, I have IMDb up. I'm looking through. Jewel of the South. Chaos level. Your actions affect the world around you. Let's look at that because things have changed, so we want to read through everything. Your actions affect the world around you. Taking lives will cause Emily or Corvo, depending on who you're playing, Excuse me for a minute there. I went into a coughing fit. Apparently, water does not like to go up your nose. Taking lives will cause Emily or Corvo and their allies to grow more cynical. Too many deaths will lead to higher levels of bloodfly infestation and a darker final outcome for the story. Interesting. Okay, so IMDb, Dishonored 2. The Outsider. Okay, so I was right. It's Robin Lord Taylor, which is the guy who plays Penguin. Corvo is Stephen Russell, which that name sounds familiar. So let me look him up. I know you're just like staring at me, staring at something here, but this is all very important to me. Erica Luttrell is Emily, which is interesting to me because she sounds like awesome.
Maybe I should have a look at
She sounds like
Karnaca, stranger.
Jennifer Hale. So Stephen Russell. Oh, of course, he's I just recognized who he was now that I remember the voice after I heard it in my head because it's still loading the webpage here. Stephen Russell was what's his butt in Fallout 4? The or not? Yeah. Gosh, the what was his name? The cyborg guy. The Nick Valentine. I think that's what it was. Nick? Was it Rick? No, it's definitely Nick. Nick Valentine. Interesting. Performance is a little worse here in some spots I've been looking at. Like right there, but overall it's running above 60, so I'm fine with that. He's also... wow, he's actually in a lot of stuff. He's stuff in Fallout 3 and whatnot. System Shock 2. Wow, he goes a ways back. Guy who plays Corvo.